Greetings, everyone. I often ask people to give me a topic that I should talk on, and sometimes when I get the topics, I don't use them. But I'm going to do this one. I kind of hesitated doing this one, and in that hesitation, I'm not going to say the name of the person that I'm talking about. But KG, you asked for this topic, and what you wanted to know was my feelings about a particular superstar and his relationship. First thing I have to say is when it comes to people's private or intimate situation, I don't like to say too much, especially on specific situation, because people have to live their own lives. People have to do what is best for them. But because you asked, and I'm sure there are other folks who are curious about the same thing, I'm going to answer. Now, the question is, how do you feel about the way this particular superstar treats his girlfriend? Do you think he's being disrespectful towards her? And this particular superstar that we're talking about, those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, you're going to have to figure it out because I'm not about to call this man's name. From what I have seen, I've seen him interviewed and I've heard him say he's not ready to get married. I've heard him say when he gets married, he wants to settle down and he's going to be faithful to his wife. I've heard him say that him and his current partner or his girlfriend, because I think he has many partners, but his girlfriend have an understanding, and that when the time is ripe, and he makes his final decision about who he wants to spend the rest of his life with, he's going to be committed. Because he says these things publicly, we can't forget what people say. Sometimes people say things and they don't mean it, but that's not something for us to dispute. He said, I'm not ready for marriage, and I'm not ready for marriage anytime soon. Now, you as a female have to look at not listen to what someone says, and you also look at their action. Some time back, when he was at the heights of his career, in his celebration, he was seen, with a female, or the female came out and told the whole world that she slept with him and what that experience was and the next day or a couple of days later, he was seen with a few other women and enjoying himself. Now, the person who is dating saw all of that, and I'm not going to worry about if she's humiliated. I get the feeling that the understanding is very deep between them. Okay? So if she decides to have an open relationship, who are you or me, you or I, to tell them what is right for them? It might not be our thing. Now, me personally, I'm not that accommodating. I know jealousy is not love, but I just wouldn't be able to do that personally. But he's not dating me, and he's not dating you. He's dating someone who agrees to this situation. There are a lot of women who want different things out of life or out of their relationship. Some people, it's money. So if you have money, you could be the biggest dog in the world. They will have no problem with it. If you have money and they can have security, they're not worried about insecurity. Okay, so for someone to be able to have that type of relationship, I don't think that person should be in her feelings because she understood what she was getting involved with or who she was getting involved with. Now, if that person, let's just say I was getting into her head and she was just playing along with the situation because she's in love with this man and she's hoping that he's going to change and he's going to just pick and be with her alone, then I would say to her, girl, wake up. If you're doing this because you're saying, listen, this is my choice. I admire men, or I'm into men or into other women, that's fine. But if you're saying, I'm just going to stay quiet like a wallflower and I'm going to let my man go out there and get out his wild oats and enjoy himself, and then he's going to pick me because I'm patient, there is going to be more of that when he marries you, if that's what you're thinking. One thing that I do notice though, and I can tell you for sure, if I was to give you my true honest opinion, that he hasn't found his wife or even the wife material yet. Obviously he's not married, but he hasn't found the person that he's truly in love with. Because when you really love someone, you're not able to do what he's doing. He's not in love with this person. Now there's a video that came out recently, some situation where he went into some beautiful person's inbox and said something to her, and people are saying, oh, and the person who he kind of winked at publicly exposed it. And, I guess she's feeling away for his girlfriend. But what I'm saying is, when the time is ripe, when he's ready to find his wife and to be settled down, I don't think it's going to be with the person that he's with. Because guess what? Men who are very competitive, men who get to the level of his field and end up walking away as a legend, those individuals needs to be challenged. They can't be with an individual who is going to just say, okay, just do what you like, enjoy yourself. Those individuals need strong women. The person he ultimately meets is going to look him in his face and say to you, I don't give up about the money that you have. You cannot and you will not disrespect me this way. That person is going to see it as a sign of disrespect, because the person wants more than just, conveniences or, the great highlight. That female that he ultimately marries is going to put him in his place, is going to say to him, listen, if this is what you need to do, you do you, but it's not going to be with me in the shadows or me opening my arms and inviting you back. So their agreement with each other works out. But I'm predicting this, that when the time is ripe, when he's ready, he's going to end up marrying someone who demands respect from him and who says, if you have this in you and need to do this, then go do it. And when it's over, you can come back and we can start a relationship. At least that time, I know you're ready for me. So I have no judgment on the person, because he has a right to say, this is what I want. His honesty is something we can't condemn. He's honest, unlike some individuals who would have, ventured into the situation with the female, tell her he's going to give her or what he's able to give her, and know very well that he's not going to do any such thing. So you have to give him credit for being honest. And he didn't say it behind closed doors. He said it publicly to the whole world. And not only did he say it publicly to the whole world, but he also demonstrated it to the whole world with all the females that he's seen with. So there's no pity for the person that he calls his girlfriend. Not from me anyway. And there's no condemnation from me, because he's an honest man doing what he needs to do to get his kicks on. The only thing I would say to him, you have worked very hard to get to the top of the pyramid. And if you're not Mr. and you know who you are, if you are not intelligent, emotionally intelligent, not just academically, but emotionally and spiritually intelligent, you will lose everything that you've ever worked for. Because right now, there's a female waiting with a story. So it's not that you're just enjoying your life, that are you with other folks, or you want 100 women, that is the problem, that is your personal choice. But what you've worked hard for, you can't allow your libido to get the best of you, because you will lose everything. You're no different from any other men who 20 years later heard that they did this whatever thing and they come crashing down. You are no different from those individuals who have got to the top of the pyramid and then left in disgrace. So for the person who asks this question, I'm not concerned about all these women he's dating, and I'm not worried about his girlfriend. I'm just saying to him, as an African man, he somehow think he's different, and he's not. And sometimes I wonder if this is a sacrifice they're willing to make. Did they say or sign up for something to say, let's get fame and fortune, and at the end of the day, this is how we go in demise? I'm not sure, and I just don't care. Stay blessed, everybody.